I think there's a common misconception that once you choose a certain thing in life, that you just have to be married to it forever. One of my last videos, I talk about why I sold my house on Big Island, Hawaii. And it's interesting to me how certain people are a little critical. It doesn't really bother me because I did it. I lived that life. I gave it my all. I did work really hard. And I decided that that particular house and property at that given time in my life was just not for me. So I sold the house, and I definitely feel like it was the right decision. But I have gotten a little bit of judgment from people, acting like, I didn't have what it takes to be a homesteader, or I didn't have what it takes to make it on the Big Island, or that I wasn't appreciative of what I had. I'm still appreciative of what I had, and I don't think I had what it took to be a homesteader. I work full time. I work really long hours, and to have the added duty of taking care of an acre of property with a home that isn't newer, that needs things fixed regularly, it wasn't for me, and I didn't have what it takes. Maybe if I had a lighter work schedule or my life was a little bit different, then I think things could have been different. But it is what it is. And for anyone living on the Big Island or homesteading and loving it, I'm so happy for you. Like, I feel like I still go to Hilo all the time. I still go to Puna when I'm on the Big Island. I love it there. There is a special energy to it there that you can't find anywhere else in the world. Is it perfect? No, and I definitely share some of my sentiments with it not being perfect. And it doesn't mean that I'm trying to insult anybody or insult the place. I was just sharing experiences of how it was for me. And I know there's a lot of people who want to move to the Big Islands, and particularly the east side, because it's one of the more affordable places to live in Hawaii and to buy property. So I'm just sharing. I just wanted to share like how it is, so people can get a feel that it's not, it's very different than maybe other areas of Hawaii. That being said, like I had no idea that video would get the views that it did. But I'm still glad that I shared, because I feel like it's really important for people to know what it might involve. Had I purchased a newer home in the same area with a fully cleared property, excuse me, things would have been a lot different. I loved the yard. It was so beautiful. It sort of looked like an overgrown botanical garden. And like when I first saw the property, I was like, wow, that's what made me fall in love with it all. Not the house, although the house, the house had a lot more space than I had in years where I had lived in condos on Oahu. But the property was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And trees everywhere, palm trees. But people need to realize when they have properties like that, they either completely let part of the property go, or they're going to have to maintain it. And I always used to think people, there's a lot of homes, if you look online, that are for sale in Hawaiian Paradise Park. They'll be newer construction. and the property is just completely bulldozed, and they have some cinder, some gravel, and that's like the yard. It's completely cleared. And I used to think that, oh gosh, how ugly, like, you know, and or how sad that that person, or that it's not a person, but whoever was in charge of the construction project decided to completely clear the lot. And, you know, there's no greenery left, no privacy. You know, I a lot of times, like in the past, when you do that, you'd be taking out a lot of the native plants that had been on the property. But what's sad now is a lot of the properties in the Hawaiian Paradise Park area, there's not much native, you know, a lot of it has been overrun by invasive species, the albizia, the cecropia. These are giant trees that just grow and grow and grow. And they're very unstable, they break, and they fall. And they usually fall when they're huge, and it can be really dangerous. So I have like a new, you know, appreciation for those lots, even though it's completely cleared. It's like they're going to have a much easier time, whoever buys that property, maintaining that property than somebody who has a property like me. I think sections were cleared at one time, but a lot of it was kind of hand cleared and left raw and beautiful. But it did take a lot to maintain it. So I think people definitely should be aware. If you work full time, if you don't have a lot of money to put up a fence, which I had no budget to put up a fence. I had bought this property and house during right before the pandemic hit. So even though I was working, my income was drastically affected. So I didn't have a lot of money to put into the property once I got it. So I was doing a lot of it on my own, and then saving up for like bigger projects that I couldn't do and hiring people to do it. I did have yard people come too, just because it was so much to maintain, but it was very difficult to find affordable and reliable people. I actually did find a great yard guy towards the end of my stay there, but it's just a lot to factor in, and you know, it's not for everyone. Some people might be more suited for a condo. Well, they do have the monthly HOA fees at condos, which can be quite high. You're not going to have that property that you have to maintain. But again, you're not going to have the privacy. You're going to have to live in extremely close quarters to other people. And these people, you know, they might not always be nice and friendly. So, I don't know, just what's on my mind today. I feel very fortunate to have been able to live in that house. For me, after a while, I was not feeling like it was where I wanted to be. So I made a change, and I think a lot of people will be stuck in a rut and just stay there because they feel trapped or like they have no other choice, or even just like, look at what I have. I should be so appreciative. I may never have this again, so I'm just gonna stay right here and not make any changes in my life because you know, this is a great thing that I have. And that's fine for some people, but that, you know, that's not for everyone.